I'm Sam. I'm one of Taylor's friends. I do fourth year. I'm fourth year. Do history at St Andrews. I come from Leeds.
How old are you?
How old am I? I'm 22. I
Yeah.
can't even believe I'm 22.
I know.
That's scary.
Very scary.
I feel like 21's the good one, and then
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought, and then my 21st year was rocky, and then I was like, 22's the good one.
22's the year, yeah.
That's the year. Okay, so I asked this question to start each of the interviews, but what's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory? That's a good one. I can't remember. I've got two, which are really early. I remember one time throwing a huge tantrum in my hallway because I'd had some, like, I don't know, ice gems or some other kind of sweet.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't get a second pack of ice gems. I think it was those, like, animals, do you know, with the chocolate bits on them.
Mm-hmm.
I was throwing a huge tantrum. I can't remember that. But I'm not sure if I remember that or I imagine it, because there's a photo of me.
Was this last year, Nevs?
It was last year. I gotta, when mummy doesn't give me my second bag of animals. But there's a photo of me, like, throwing a huge tantrum with my mouth full of, like, it's disgusting.
Oh, I love it.
And the second one, I remember there was this thing in London called the Millennium Dome, when it was like the year 2000, and it was like this huge, like, big dome with, like, loads of exhibitions, there were circuses. I remember just kind of going to that, and I think that was probably the earliest memory, my most positive memory. But I remember kind of going to that and seeing all the circus stuff, and then going home on the train and just waking up and asking for a toffee crisp. That was I was very food centric from a young age, obviously.
I love it. So what was an infant, like, baby Nevs like? Do you have any stories from your parents? Were you a good kid, or?
I think I was a pretty good kid, actually. Surprisingly, I was quite chubby, bald, I think, for quite a few years. I had like really blonde hair up until like 10 or 11.
Oh, really?
So it was really, like, you couldn't really see it. Apparently I had a knack of, like, pulling items up. So I used to, like, go to a bookshelf and pull every single book off the bookshelf, or go into the fridge and pull, like, every single thing off the fridge.
Oh, no.
I think I was quite a weird kid. Like, I used to I was very talkative from a young age. Like, people used to call me, like, an old man, because I just used to, like, talk about the most mundane, like, sort of stuff to, like, my nursery things. And what did I used to? This is bizarre. I used to, like, when I was like 3 or 4. Apparently, like, I used to go to my dad and give him a pen, give him a piece of paper. I was like, draw a duck, and then draw a monocle, then draw a top hat on the duck, then draw a cigar coming out. I was very specific about what I wanted.
It was always that description, or is that
the same kind of description?
It was always a duck.
It was always a duck with those specific features.
What's your connection to ducks then?
I don't know. I was walking across the park the other day and I thought, I like ducks, but I don't think there's any specific, reason why I like ducks.
Okay. So you're a big brother.
Uh-huh.
What kind of big brother are you?
Oh, I think it's changed over time.
What were you at how much older are you than Tom?
2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I was born in March 95 and he was born in August 97.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the start I was pretty fine with him, and then when I was like 2 or 3 when he was 2 or 3 I was I always used to say, he's always a bad baby, that one. And I used to try and disparage him.
That's that old man thing again.
I think it was. It was like, these teens, these toddlers, And I think we didn't get on for a long time. I don't think, me and Tom. I think I'd always look out for him, but at home until maybe like I was maybe 13 or something, we really didn't get on. Like,
do you know why at all, or?
I think, I don't know. I suppose I was less I think until I was 13, maybe I was less understanding that he has special needs.
Yeah.
And maybe I was less tolerant of that, and kind of, yeah. I think it was, and he was annoying anyway. I feel like people say you can't say that because he's got special needs, but I believe you should treat everyone, you should treat them So he is annoying. I can say bad stuff about him too. But I don't think I was the best bigger brother until I was. And then the next few years, we kind of had nothing to do with each other. We like tolerated each other.
From 13 on, or
from 13 on,
okay.
I'd say. So like, there was never any bad blood there. Occasionally, but I'd say, you know, when I started 16 and Thomas started hitting his teens, I'd say we got on really well after that. And,
that's good.
It's quite nice, and now, you know, now I think he's the cooler one. He always ignores my Facebook messages. He's quite
he does have quite the friend. He's kind of hijacked some of your friends there too. He does.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously.
I know.
I think you prefer him to me. But no, I like it's really nice now, and I'll invite him out. Like, you know, if we're going out on in Leeds, so I think I have a good relationship with him now.
That's nice. Good. What did you guys fight about when you were little? Do you remember any fights?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think maybe stupidly, I was probably jealous of the attention he was getting.
Yeah.
And although I probably got more than enough attention. I can't really remember what we used to fight about. I think we used to fight about who went on the PlayStation a lot. Like, we had a very strict 20-minute rule where we had to swap. I think we used to fight over that. But
it's always the silly things.
Yeah, it was nothing ever big or deep. It was just, he was, yeah. I used to always like to fall asleep reading, and he hated it. So like when we shared a room.
You did share a room.
I'd always have the light on, and then he'd complain.
Okay.
And then, you know.
Was it a bunk bed situation, or did you have?
It was just a 2 bed, so I don't think he could have dealt with the bunk bed situation. But yeah, I can't really remember any specific incidents, but yeah.
So describe 10-year-old Nevs.
10-year-old?
Yeah.
I was very confident at 10. I was like, it's probably the most confident I've ever been. I was so chatty in school. I actually got moved to the desk, and my teacher made a desk adjoined to hers, because I got moved from every table for talking too much. Like, I used to...
A little socialite.
I was quite a socialite. I used to... perform comedy plays at my school, writing and performing.
Yeah.
There was one called Sam Ham, and it was about this guy who was like obsessed with ham, and he ends up killing his granny because she wouldn't give him the ham. Or she wanted him to eat apples or something. It was such a bizarre, but I used to perform it, and so I was quite outgoing and confident.
Yeah.
I think I used to like to have a laugh, and I used to like performing, writing plays.
Yeah.
And
did you ever venture into like drama at your school or anything like that?
I kind of wrote a lot of my school play because we had like a collaborative effort, and it was called Barbie in Blunderland, so it was like an Alice in Wonderland parody. I remember there was like 10 people who produced the script, and everyone else's was 2 to 3 pages, and mine was 10 pages. I remember doing that, and then just like pretty much taking over the writing, which is a bit knobby. But I did drama in high school more, kind of performing. I was the only boy who picked drama for GCSE.
Yeah.
So that's cool, you know. I always got the romantic lead. There was a competition.
That's how you get work your way in there.
Exactly, you know. Didn't do me much good, but you know, it would have done.
But you learn the skills, you know.
You learn the
foundation.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was in this like improv group, like, you know, outside of school. So I was into drama for a while, and then I realised I couldn't act that well. Like, I used to get good grades on like the writing bits, but my acting was pretty.
So what did you enjoy about performing? Was it the writing part, or was it?
I think it was like, yeah, kind of creative part, and I really enjoyed doing. I really enjoyed performing, and I was good at like performing the kind of the comedy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I enjoy just getting laughs out of people.
What's a catchphrase that like 13 to 15-year-old Nevs would have said?
A catchphrase. That's interesting. It
didn't have to be something you actually said.
15, I used to probably like not have my own catchphrases, but I I was kind of like the guy in our group who gave out banter. So if someone else had a catchphrase, I used to think that he's so cheesy. So I used to like take the absolute piss out of like there's this guy called Matthew, and I really like the guy. I'm still friends with him now. But he had this catchphrase. He just used to say the most stupid stuff. Like he used to go, "Ga ga 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 ga," like that. No, I just say the most stupid stuff like every day. Go, Chris, do you want to go to the corner shop? So I used to just like my catchphrases were basically other people's catchphrases, like absolutely ripping them apart.
I love it.
So. Oh yeah, just taking a piss out of people. Mainly Matthew, bless him. But yeah.
What role did humor play in your childhood or growing up?
I think a huge part.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always very like driven to make people laugh. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. I used to like watch comedies from a really early age and kind of like study them, and like I used to always get the script books for comedy and kind of read them and try and like analyse them. I don't know. I suppose it's always been a thing. And in high school, definitely, I was kind of known in the group as that kind of funny guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still try. I tried to move away from it right now.
Why are you trying to move away from it?
Sometimes I still try and do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I reached my peak when I was like 15, 16.
Okay.
I was very, very funny. Like, people were like, in my yearbook, it was like, "You're the funniest guy I've ever known," and stuff like that.
You can't match it.
You can't. So I still try, but I'm never going to reach the heights that I did. A huge part. My dad's very funny, actually. He's quite a funny guy. So I think I've always kind of taken that from him. And I don't know, like, making people laugh is like one of the things I enjoy doing the most. Like, it's where I get my kicks, so to speak. So it did play a huge part through pretty much when I was 6 to now.
Yeah. Along the same lines, you said your dad's a funny guy, which he is. I've met him before.
Yeah.
But what parts of yourself do you think come from your parents? Or what parts of your parents do you see in yourself, and how do you feel about it?
I think I wish I was more like my mum, but I am more like my dad. Like, I think I see a lot of myself through my dad. I think obviously the humour thing. I think we both share kind of similar interests. Like, he's very interested in history and politics. We both get very unnecessarily worried about stuff. Like, me and my dad, like, we try not to show it, but two of the most like
worry warts.
Yeah. Like, we really worry about unnecessary things. I think just the way I've kind of ended up, I look like my dad a slight bit.
You do, yeah.
I didn't like it, but I did. I sound like him a lot. Like, my grandma rang me up for my birthday. I just put Dad on the phone and we said,
I should try that. Yeah.
He was so funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He was so, and then I answered the phone and she was like, "Hi, is that Chris?" I was like, "Yes, Audrey." "What are you ringing for?" She was like, "Can I speak to the birthday boy?" I was like, "Of course."
Did she ever find out?
She did, and then she just went. I went, "Oh, Grandma, I was just messing. It was me." And she went, "Okay, bye." She obviously didn't want to chat to me after that. But I am very much like my dad.
And your mom, not so much?
I don't think I'm like my mom. I think, which is good. It's not good. It's good that my mum's not like me, because my mum's the one who like will calm me down and like be a bit more practical. My mum's all deals with stuff probably a bit. She's like, it's good having a mum who's not like me so much. Although we get on really well, we have like really good chats. So we are similar in some ways, but I think it's good that she's not like me and my dad. She can call us out on our shit, really. So
I guess talking a bit more about high school, what kind of school did you go to, and where did you fit into it?
So, high school was first few years of high school. It was a state school, so kind of not a private school. It was not paid for. it was a good school. It wasn't a bad school at all. It was good enough that you got to see a lot of people from, and I think some people in St Andrews maybe don't have it as much. You get to see people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different how rich they are, stuff like that. So, but it was by no means a bad school. It was a Catholic high school, but
oh, okay.
I don't
think
that.
I've talked to a lot of people that have gone to Catholic high schools.
I think here it's kind of, it doesn't even matter about the religion. It's just generally better regarded schools.
Did you have to take any religious courses?
Yeah, I had to do RE/GCSE. How did I fit into it? The first few years, not very well.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I was my confidence was just went downhill so quickly. I was bullied a tiny bit, not enough to carry it with me today.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of felt I never found a group or never found, like my people. I think when I was 11, 12, 13, I kind of wanted to be like the cool kids.
Yeah.
Then when I was 14, 15, I kind of realised I didn't really like them or fit in with them. And I kind of got talking to... so, like, up till about 14, I kind of didn't enjoy school. I kind of just had a few friends, but not a group. And then I remember probably just taking a piss out of someone else, and these guys were like, oh, he's quite funny.
Yeah.
So I kind of got in with some people, Sam Foster, like Chris Shire, like a lot of good people who were genuinely funny guys, and like, I don't know why I didn't meet them before, but after that, high school was great for me. Like, it was probably the best years of my life.
Oh, really?
15, 16. I always like reminisce back to them. Didn't have, I was pretty, GCSEs, like, I was pretty good at them, so there was no real issues on the studying side of things. Used to go home and play Xbox for hours. We just used to have such a laugh, played football. I think I really grew into myself when I was 15, 16. So they were really good years for me.
What did growing into yourself entail? What realizations did you come to?
I suppose a lot of it was I didn't need the validation of like the so-called like cool kids.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to be a cool kid. If I had a good circle of friends, I was always kind of happy. I think I grew into myself physically a bit as well, because when I was like, Chris Shire's one of like my best friends from Leeds. He used to, and when we weren't even really that good friends, I used to have a bowl cut. So it was a pretty tragic haircut, and he used to call me Friar Tuck, from the Robin Hood film. No. So I was a pretty awkward looking teen. Had like big ears, which I still do now. And I used to bowl cut, braces, which are never good for the confidence. I don't think.
No.
So once I got rid of those, went to a proper barber's, I felt a lot better about myself. Yeah, I just kind of stopped caring what everyone thought, obviously. So I thought, yeah, those few years were really good.
Nice. So how did you get to St Andrews? What led you here?
My mum went to St Andrews. So I kind of knew about it from that. I wasn't too bothered for it. But when I went, I remember we went to a few holidays around here. We stayed near Dundee, bizarrely. I don't know why my dad thought a holiday. I don't understand. Some
no disrespect to Dundee.
I like Dundee. I'm just not sure what you could do there for 7 days. But we went to St Andrews and played the Himalayas. I lost so badly. Even Thomas beat me. I was sulking so much. So I wasn't too bothered to go. But I think I thought I'll check it out. It's obviously a really good uni. Mm-hmm. It's quite well known in the UK for being a good uni. So I think we went on an open day, and there's this professor here. I've never told him, but Jerry de Groot did the opening kind of you went. Did you go to?
I didn't visit St Andrews before I decided to come here. Before I arrived at Freshers Week.
That's so daunting.
Yeah, I was very ill-informed, but it worked out.
It worked out all right.
Yeah.
He did the history talk. I felt so inspired. The course, obviously a huge difference to me that I could solely focus on modern history, because I've been to other unis like Durham, which is a fantastic uni, but it just seemed like a lot of stuff I wasn't personally interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of interested in the more kind of modern history and kind of political history as well, kind of like knowing like, I'm not really interested in the military side of things, like, you know, what flank people were on, but I kind of like the kind of strategizing kind of stuff. So this was really good for me, and I remember liking like the professor so much that I thought I'll definitely like try and come here. If my mum and dad, and a lot of people I knew were quite keen and maybe pushy, and I mean I did it myself as well, but about going to Oxford or Cambridge, like, if I could get in. So I applied to Cambridge, went down to the interview, and it went all right actually. But the questions were so bizarre, and it kind of made me realise that I didn't really want to go there. There was maybe too much pressure on education. Because I went in my personal statement, which you have to do for unis, I put down I went to Kenya, you know, as a volunteer, so I could talk about something other than education. And they were like, oh, so we see you went to Kenya. Can you tell us what year it became independent from the United Kingdom? I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Like, oh, you're not talking about that.
That's the kind of interview I would fail at.
It was horrible. I think I got it right in the end, but it was just a guess.
Yeah.
I got hammered on the second interview. They were like...
To clarify, you did not get drunk for
No.
You just got hammered with questions.
I just got hammered with questions, which I didn't do very well at. But I must have done well enough. I got pulled, which is when they say, we haven't got a place for you in this college, but you're good enough to get into Cambridge.
Wow.
And so they basically put all those students in like a purgatory, and they can get picked out if anyone fancies them.
Yeah.
It's like a dog rescue shelter. But no one picked up this dog. So, but I was like, when I got the letter saying I got pulled, I was fingers crossed like they didn't pick me.
Oh, really?
I really fancied going to. From the interviews, I just kind of knew.
Did you think if you had got pulled, you would have felt the pressure to go to Cambridge?
I think I probably would have ended up going.
It's kind of hard to turn it down. Yeah.
My grandma, I think she did a master's in Cambridge, and a couple of my uncles went to Cambridge, so there's a big kind of, I think you apply to it in our family, and if you get in, you kind of go.
Yeah.
So I would have ended up going, but I'm so glad I didn't. Like, I think this is more than enough work for me. I would have not liked any more.
Yeah.
So St Andrews from then on was kind of my one choice. I remember the deadline for telling me was like March the 30th. And all the other unis had got back to me in January. And they told me on March the 30th. I remember...
St. Andrews did?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember being so happy when they told me.
That's what... Oh, my gosh.
It was such a good moment. And then it was just a matter of getting the grades.
Yeah.
Good times.
So you said you volunteered in Kenya. I do not know that.
Did you not know that?
I don't think I do. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Definitely. It was amazing. Like, it's probably the best thing I've ever done. I went when I was 15. I applied through Scouts. It was kind of a matter of raising 2,500. So it's quite intense. My Scout troop helped me out a lot. They gave me like $1,000, which was so nice of them. Like, not a big troop as well, and like, I kind of did like bake sales and stuff like that. But going was like the most fantastic experience of my life. We went to Nairobi first, kind of just chilled out there for a few days. And
How many of there were you?
It was probably about 30 to...
Oh, okay.
I don't know, maybe... There was about 30 to 40.
That's quite a large group.
There was 3 groups, and one group, which was what I was in, did charity work. So we basically went to the bushes after that, so like the rural kind of places. And we kind of built a building for a school and painted all the indoors of school. And then there was a group who did a camel trek, which I couldn't stand. I hated the camels.
Why?
They're just horrible creatures. Like, they spit, like, they're really unfriendly. I can't stand camels. I spent a camp for 2 weeks with camels, and I never want to see one again. And there was a group who climbed Kilimanjaro, which is what Harry's doing.
Yeah.
But I did so there was maybe 15 of us who did the charity work. So we kind of went to Nairobi for a few days, and there was a group of Kenyan scouts who went as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like we met the Kenyan scouts there, kind of adjusted to the climate. Then we went out to the bushes and did the charity work. That was just one of the most like gratifying experiences of my life. It was so good to kind of. It's great to get a perspective on stuff like that at 15 as well. Like, it really kind of shaped my views of stuff in a way.
So?
Just kind of made me realise how lucky I was, and it's very cliche.
No.
But just kind of, it was just like going there and building the school, and like you'd complain about the toilets being dirty maybe, you know, at uni, but they had one toilet, and it was at times it was very hard, especially when we drove through Nairobi and saw the slums. But I wouldn't say it was ever. We didn't have to deal with any health, so it was never a devastating experience when we ever saw. So, but it was just amazing seeing like these people and how happy they were with so little as well, and they were the kids. I made such good friends with the Kenyan Scouts who were on charity. Like, they were my best friends there, and they were just like such funny guys. And there was this one guy called Owen, and he's just the funniest guy in the world. Like, we went out to eat on our last night, and there was like a pool in the back of this place, and he fell into the pool. And he just like, he always had these weird phrases, like, instead of, if you were saying, "Are you sure?" he'd always go, "Are you cocksure?" I don't know. It was so funny. And the kids were lovely as well, the actual kids at the school.
Yeah.
And they were just such funny people. They always went to me, "Hey, white man, give me your watch." I was like, "No, I need it." But they were just such happy people.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed doing the work as well. Like, a lot of people wanted to do the safari, but I was kind of just bothered to kind of do the work.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
That's awesome. Along those lines, how do you think your like where you grew up shaped your identity?
Definitely.
Especially compared to
Yeah.
what you saw in Kenya and.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say I grew up in a very nice area. We don't have the biggest house. We have a pretty big, like, good house. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about the house, but it was. I think what we paid for is probably the area. We lived in a really nice area. Got really very suburban kind of stuff. I lived like 3 minutes away from my primary school. Yeah. A lot of my friends lived around. Very middle class kind of upbringing, but I think one of the things that did shape me was my parents, especially my dad, didn't grow up from very working class kind of upbringing. My dad lived in Seacroft, which is kind of a rough area of Leeds. I think he went to the roughest school.
Yeah.
He got in a fight once, which I can't imagine on my dad. Like,
yeah,
he's the biggest nerd possible. Like, he's got all these Doctor Who shells, but he went to a rough school. Not rough himself, but I think my mum is one of 7, and she grew up, you know, and shared a room with 2 of her sisters. They were by no means like not wealthy, but it was still it was an upbringing that wasn't particularly. It wasn't as comfortable as what I had. I think they kind of instilled a lot of values in me, like when I grew up, especially around 15, 16, like, they're always very generous to me, but I never felt I was spoiled. Like, I knew I had to work for extra stuff. Like, I wasn't just gonna get it all the time. I suppose the area we live in as well is quite Catholic, so I was brought up kind of on those values. And though I don't believe in Catholicism anymore.
Did you at one point?
I think I did, yeah. And the more it got explained to me, the more I was like, nah, I just don't. I believe in God. Yeah. But I lean a lot more towards Protestantism now.
Yeah. Do you practice any religion, or do you consider yourself practicing Christian?
I consider myself Christian. Do I practice? Probably not. I go to church every Easter. I'm one of those Easter and Christmas kind of people. I'm not sure I believe in organised religion in a way. When I go to church with my family,
why don't
I always feel it's very, I don't know, like this is totally my opinion. I hate people who like, you know, enforce their religious views or whatever. Like if you're an atheist, great, but don't like disparage Catholics. So this is my opinion. But to me, it always felt personally quite cult-like, kind of repeating these words. That in the end of the day, you kind of know off by, are you really thinking about them?
Yeah.
It's kind of too structured for me. I'm lazy, you know. My mum gets up at 8 o'clock mass, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But I felt like for me, it just wasn't clicking as much. And I really like stuff like, if I see a nice like religious poem or even a song, you know, a lot of rappers are kind of into like Christian rap now. I really like that sort of stuff. I'm fine with like religious themes, but kind of the whole going to church thing doesn't particularly do it for me.
Yeah.
But the values, I think, growing up in that kind of area are very important. I think, you know, I was taught a lot of good, I think, you know, especially my mum and her family, you know, instilled a lot of good values in terms of treating people with respect and so did my dad's family. Like, they're lovely, and I think that shaped me a lot. I think I came from a very good family.
Yeah.
And they were good to kind of. That's not very articulate.
That's okay. But I know what you're saying. I'm sure other people will too. Why do you like studying what you study? History. Yeah. Modern history said you specifically like modern? What draws you to it? That's the question I wanted to ask.
It's a good question.
Got there in the end.
You got there in the end. I took about 10 seconds to say good. That was the best I could come up with in 10 seconds. So I won't worry too much. I think it comes from, I've always kind of been interested in stories. And this is what I put on my personal statement as well. So I always felt like some of the best stories are from like history, and I like the characters involved. I'm kind of very like, I don't believe I believe social history is a lot more important, but I'm interested personally in kind of the kind of figures of history and kind of what they did, and social history a bit as well, but just kind of the stories that are created, and it's just insane, like some of the stuff that happens is just like... Yeah,
it's crazy that it's not fictional.
Exactly, yeah. Like, just, I'm listening to a podcast at the moment when I go to sleep called... Hardcore History.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard of it?
No.
It's really good. Check it out.
Yeah.
By this guy called Dan Carlin, and he did it one on, you know, the triumvirate between Caesar, Mark Antony, and who's the other one? I'm gonna kick myself when I look at it. But it's just so interesting. It's just like, you can't believe this stuff has happened. Like, Game of Thrones is like inspired by, you know, Middle Age English history.
Yeah.
Loosely. You probably...
My dad thinks it's like real. He's like, is that what you study? I'm like, no. But not what I study.
It's just amazing. I'm like, been reading about like Genghis Khan lately and the stuff he did.
He's a really interesting guy.
So long ago. He's just... I just think it's so interesting in that kind of things. And I've always been interested like in kind of the stories and the characters and how they managed to like gain power and all the intrigues.
Yeah.
I suppose, and like the Cold War for me was so fascinating, and just how they used and what different factors. So I've always kind of been more interested in history and English to an extent, rather than, you know, like sciencey subjects.
Yeah.
So.
What kinds of things are you involved in here that are not academic? And what role do they play in your university experience?
Very interesting. Well, I'm the president of Hip Hop Sock. I've got a huge interest in kind of hip hop music.
Yeah.
And and my old roommate Harry. Do you know him?
I do. He's one of the other interviews. Check it out.
Check it out. Plug.
Yeah.
We do a radio show on a Sunday, and we've done that since second year. And kind of started a society this year. It didn't get very many members, so St Andrews maybe not the best place to do hip hop. I was speaking to someone the other day, and they said they kind of looked it up on Facebook, and there's been a few hip hop societies that have kind of came on away. So, but it was really good to do, and we had some good discussion clubs, and it didn't take off in the way I wanted it to, but it was important kind of, I'm glad I tried it.
Yeah.
And it was, I wish I'd devoted myself more to it, to be honest. Like, I feel I could have done more. Again, it's hard when you've got no money, no members.
Yeah.
And
other things to do.
And a dissertation to write and
Yeah.
stuff. But I've enjoyed it, and it's certainly like, made a few friends out of it, and so I think that's been a great experience this year.
What draws you to hip hop? Why do you like it so much?
Oh.
I'm curious just because I'm not a huge hip hop person.
Yeah. So. I don't know. I feel the lyrics are a big part of why I like it. Like, if there's a really clever line or they're saying something really interesting. I find a lot of the people behind it fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, my favourite group is called the Wu-Tang Clan.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Heard of them.
you've probably seen my multiple T-shirts.
Yeah.
And they've got 9 members, and they've all got like a different personality, and every album they come out has got a specific feel, and I really like the kind of different kind of things they do. Mm-hmm. I'm very attracted to kind of the lyrics of it. A lot of the beats I like as well, and they're kind of I don't know. I really feel I should branch out a bit more. But
really?
I don't know why it interests me more than most, but sometimes I feel like I know nothing.
Yeah.
About other music, so I'm gonna try and next year, broaden my horizons.
All right. In what ways do you fit into St. Andrews, and in what ways don't you?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you ask everyone this?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think everyone at St. Andrews loves or did love the subject.
Yeah.
I think everyone's quite passionate here. I think everyone's quite driven in a way. Like, everyone's kind of got their own interest outside of work too. Like, obviously you do a lot of art. Feminist book club.
Well, that
so
came and went, yeah.
But I think everyone's kind of like got their own stuff that they like to do as well, which is sometimes like...
Would you characterize that as ambition? Like, we're all quite ambitious, or...
Ambition is... Yeah, I'd say ambition to an extent, or like determination to kind of pursue stuff they enjoy.
Yeah. Like self-aware, or like they know themselves quite well.
And I think a lot of people, there's a lot of kind of almost pressure on like maybe self-improvement here. Mm-hmm. I feel, I don't know if I fit into that or not, actually, thinking about it, because sometimes I really am like at the moment I've got a plan. Like, when I finish exams, I'm going to go running every day, eat healthier. Yeah. So I kind of fit into it in that way.
Is that what you're talking about, the self-improvement part?
Yeah. I'm kind of pursuing the stuff so I like writing, so, like, that's what I want to do. And I think a lot of people do try and take the time out. There's a very active theatre scene here.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people are interested in what ways don't I fit in?
You might totally fit in, so it might not apply.
No, I don't feel I do.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially first year, I felt kind of... I don't know if it was the same for you, but like stuff like wine and cheese were very strange to me. Like, I suppose it's different... different strangers since you're an American. It's quite a British thing to do, and more for me that I didn't feel I was in a certain class to do that almost. I felt very uncomfortable in my gown and the shirt and having to socialise with all these like professors. I suppose that was always strange for me. And sometimes not particularly now, because I've kind of found a group of friends like who aren't really, pursuing that kind of posh lifestyle. Yeah. But the first few weeks I thought maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah, will I find anyone that's not?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think at the beginning everyone tries to make it seem like they fit into everything too.
Absolutely,
so it's hard to be like, oh, does everyone think wine and cheese is totally normal?
Yeah. I always feel still that I'm not as articulate as people here. I think that a lot of people are very good at, especially in tutorials, at kind of expressing themselves. I feel I've always had a problem. I'm good at writing stuff down, but in terms of expressing myself intellectually is something I've always struggled with. Mm-hmm. Like, again, like taking 10 seconds to say good. Just that.
Says the person that also almost got into Cambridge, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
but I mean...
Why do you see yourself that way?
I don't know. I just think... I just always have had trouble. Maybe not when I was, in college or high school, but possibly when here, I just found everyone else so intelligent and so able to kind of explain all these kind of complicated theories and, points of view, and even like kind of articulating how you feel. Like, I feel some people have a lot kind of stronger sense of what philosophers they believe in, and I've not even considered this.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's one way in which I feel like maybe underdeveloped. Not underdeveloped. That sounds like I've got like half a leg. But
yeah,
I kind of feel like I wish I was more articulate.
Yeah.
In a sense. Gillis, who's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And the way he expresses himself, he's on the debate team, and I think he's very good at it. And the way he expresses himself in class, like I just jump straight into it, and he goes, well, with regards to this, and he breaks the whole thing down so eloquently. And I could probably do that in writing.
Yeah.
But off the bat like that
is that your strength then, writing?
I'd say so in terms of like academia, yeah.
Yeah.
I can certainly write a lot better than I can speak.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hold, when I say this, like, I can hold a conversation. Right?
Clearly, yeah.
But it's more like academically speaking.
Yeah, I know
something
what you mean.
I definitely struggle with. So writing comes to me a lot easier.
Yeah. Do you still write today? Just not.
Yeah.
Okay, you've written a book.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about writing?
Yeah, definitely.
Your book?
Yeah. I've kind of always wanted to be an author from like a young age. It's kind of it's not the dream anymore. Like I don't expect to become like, Stephen King or anything.
Yeah.
But I my ambition is one day to kind of get a book published or something like that. I always kind of did it in primary school, and I was very much in high school, and I always started projects and never finished them. So the first year of uni, I was kind of like, this year doesn't matter. I'm going to write a book, which I did. Yeah. And then over the summer, I looked over it, and it was crap.
What was it called? Did you have a title?
I didn't have a huge title. It was going to be called, it was about the mafia, about like gang war. I was going to call it The Family, and then a movie came out the same year about the mafia called The Family. So then I changed it to The Bad Guys, which is just an awful name. I was like, that's a placeholder.
Yeah.
I'll change it. I could not think of it.
That's okay.
So it was called The Bad Guys. And you know what? I'm really glad I did it. It's a very it's a good experience to kind of commit yourself to something and commit yourself to something and kind of see it through to the end.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, it was unworkable. But sometimes that'll happen.
Do you write today? Still?
Yeah, I do. I'm writing a book at the moment. Hopefully, kind of halted production on it, so to speak. But hopefully, May the 12th, day after the exam, I'm going to get straight back down to it.
Yeah.
2,000 words a day.
Really?
Is the aim. So, yeah.
Do you want to say?
Yeah, I can say a bit about it.
Can you reveal a little?
I think it's quite a well-covered subject. It's about the Holocaust. And it's about this guy who kind of comes home from the Holocaust. So he's a German Jew. His family were killed in the Holocaust, and he finds out in 1951 that he's got a terminal illness, and that he goes to kind of Germany and sees the people who were in charge of the camp he was in, and kind of goes back to enact his revenge. And it's kind of about how he kind of gets his revenge on a few people and he still doesn't feel satisfied, so it gets worse and worse, and like he does more and more bad shit, like kind of stuff that
you can say shit. It's okay.
Shit, that he kind of becomes more and more prejudiced against the people
that were prejudiced
that he kind of, and then in the end he realizes
like a fight fire with fire type thing. Yeah.
So it's kind of wants to deal with kind of the idea of forgiveness and redemption and how far justified is kind of the violence. So
what inspired that sort of message that you wanted to write about?
I don't know, I always thought it was interesting how much punishment do people deserve, and why does certain people deserve this punishment. And, like, from writing it, I'm still not sure how I feel about the whole kind of thing, because sometimes I feel...
Yeah, is there a line to draw for forgiveness? Or and how
far can you go, like...
Yeah.
in terms of, so sometimes I feel like he's doing it right, he's totally justified in doing this, and sometimes I feel like that's possibly too far. Like, I think towards the end, I still haven't worked it out yet, but towards the end I think he'll start enacting revenge on people who don't really deserve it, or family members who aren't involved, and then you're thinking, how far does... So hopefully it's more of a interesting spin on the kind of whole...
Yeah, I'm interested. I want to read it.
But I think, as always, like, I think I've come to accept kind of this with writing. Your first draft is going to be awful. Like, it's going to be so badly written. Like, I've read about 30,000 words so far, and looking back on it, it's terrible. The ideas are okay.
Yeah.
But, like, so I'm looking forward to kind of finishing that and kind of moving on to see if I can, make it into something workable. And if not, just on to the next one. But I don't think I'll ever kind of give up doing it, even if, there's no particular ambition to make money out of it.
Yeah.
But to get something published, even if it's by myself, is
That's
something
awesome.
I eventually want to do. Yeah.
Cool. So what do you see for yourself in the future besides maybe a published book?
That's interesting. So I'm going into human resources next year, Network Rail. I don't know, it's never something I saw myself doing. I don't know if I should say this. Applied for it by mistake.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But I think it sounds really cool, and the more, when I did apply for it, and I eventually found out I clicked HR, I was really interested in kind of, learning more about that. And when I did go to the interview, I was pretty passionate about, kind of making a difference. I think HR are kind of known as these stuffy people who kind of like...
Have you ever seen The American Office?
Yeah, Toby.
Toby.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Richard calls me Toby.
Oh, that's great.
Pisses me off. But, kind of, I think I've seen, HR do, some really good stuff. And it's certainly interesting working on stuff like diversity and, kind of racism, which I've always been interested in. So I think I do 6 4-month placements there and then kind of go from there. Again, is it something I want to do all my life? I have no idea. I've always fancied kind of teaching, and that's still something I kind of think about a lot. And maybe I still will do it. So, I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But in terms of more general kind of stuff, I've always kind of wanted a family when I'm older. So
A big one or like a...
I think, 2.5 kids,
2.5, okay.
The classic suburban
Is the 0.5
dream.
a dog or just half a human?
The 0.5, I'm not, 2 or 3.
Okay.
A dog as well. I love a dog. So I've kind of always wanted that for my future. Obviously, a long way off.
Yeah.
And to have kind of a nice house, and kind of I've always wanted to kind of bring up my kids in a way that I was brought up, kind of pass that kind of down. So I think have a comfortable life. I'm not out to get mega rich or anything, but that's the dream. Hopefully, yeah.
Good. Moving off that, what is your value system? What guides your life?
I suppose I've always kind of wanted to always make myself available to people who need it. I think that's really important for me, and kind of maintaining friendships and kind of for me the most important thing in life is kind of relationships. Not particularly in terms of romantic ones, but
just any
friendships,
connection,
and just kind of maintaining those connections, and just kind of that's the most important thing to me. So in terms of a value system, kind of just making sure that I'm being a good enough person to everyone, and especially everyone I care about is important to me. Just being polite. I try and stay away from fighting or arguing, mainly because I'm a bit of a wimp for confrontation. But trying to have a positive attitude towards things, and I suppose it's always important to me to be aware when I'm kind of have a negative attitude to things as well. Like sometimes you can't help but be annoyed at someone irrationally.
Mm-hmm.
But I make sure to myself, even if I feel it, I think like you have no real right to be
take
annoyed
a step
at
back
this person.
and,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's such a good thing to know that you can, if you know you can turn to someone else, it's such a nice feeling. And I'd always want to be kind of a person who can be that to someone and kind of talk them through stuff. I feel like it's good for both of you because you feel like, you know, you've helped someone out. It's good. I want to volunteer next year, and you know, do those things where they kind of you like take a special needs kid out every weekend and stuff like that. Because I think that's shaped my value system a lot. Having a brother with special needs is certainly. I mean, you know, at times he's being judged, and you know, I still see it on Facebook. Some people like taking it, you know, like I can
you
still
can
see
the intention behind it,
and I suppose just kind of letting people who don't have as much advantages as you for whatever reason, kind of helping those out in a way that you can make a positive difference. Like, not necessarily give up my life and move to Africa, but if you can do something good once in a while and treat your friends well and make sure they know you're there for them, I suppose that's important to me. But I mean, like I said before, just being aware of like what you're feeling and if that feeling is right or wrong, even if you are feeling it, if you can say, if you don't act on like, and you can say, look, I'm thinking this, but what a knobby thing to think, you know? I think that's important.
So I just have one last question, and then if there's anything else you want to talk about, we can. But what's the biggest lesson you've learned so far from your life? Oh. I know, it's a daunting one.
That's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I save it for last. Gotta warm you up first.
You do. You know, there's some... Oh, man. That's a big one. One of the things I once heard, I think I just read it off the internet or something. So it wasn't a big, profound moment. But one of the best things I heard was like, someone was like telling a story of like, they were in a class. And someone was like, my dad's a bin man. Or whatever, and you know, everyone just started laughing and taking a piss. Then someone else said, you know, you should never laugh at anyone who's like trying to make an honest living for themselves. And that stuck with me so much. I think I must have read it when I was 16 or something.
Yeah.
That stuck me, not just in terms of like working an honest job, but just kind of seeing
just like good people.
If people are doing stuff for them, and it's not affecting anyone else, like why should you?
Yeah.
Like be mean about it or be nasty about it. Kind of trying to understand where people are coming from and, you know, where they've been. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, Bin Man wasn't top of his dream list, but, you know, he's doing it and good for him and he's earning, you know, some money. So I think that always stuck with me in terms of thinking about, you know, kind of looking at things from other people's perspectives and kind of trying to understand. So I'd say...
You kind of hit the nail on the coffin of why I'm doing this whole thing. It's just getting the understanding. Nice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that you didn't talk about? Or...
No, I think I covered all the bases. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you, Ness.